NWA Mountain State, the flagship of the National Wrestling Alliance.
Welcome once again to NWA Mountain State Wrestling, the flagship of the National Wrestling Alliance. My name is Dean Bibb with the Outlaw Rockstar, Sweet Stephen Hensley. Guys, main event action for this hour. The return of the immortal Johnny Blast. You guys have been asking for him, and here he is. And he gets his NWA Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Championship rematch against the Canadian Lion, Lance Ericson, in our main event.
And that's going to be a fantastic encounter. Internet darling and Mountain State Wrestling fan favorite Johnny Blast, long-awaited return to the ring and a rematch for the heavyweight belt. But let's not forget, also on this show, we got Eric Darkstorm, one half of our tag team champions, Dark Gift, going up against our junior heavyweight champion, a man with an incredible amount of steam behind him right now. Lost Boy Nero, the Young Lions of Mountain State Wrestling are here, Buddy Love's here, and so much more. You don't want to miss it, fans.
Guys, it is tradition, it is determination, it is the flagship of the National Wrestling Alliance on Fox, West Virginia, and across the World Wide Web, and it is NWA Mountain State Wrestling.
NWA Mountain State is paid in part by Kramer Security and Investigations, now hiring in all of southern West Virginia at kramersecurity.net. Mark A. Hunt and Associates, practicing law since 1994 and online at markahunt.com. The West Virginia Tobacco Quit Line. Get help to quit smoking now at westvirginiaquitline.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time, Mr. Buddy Love, with a special, hey buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, why don't you meet my new friend? Hey, show some respect to the puppy. Get the mic out of his face.
Sorry.
This is Felix. He comes to us from Operation Underdog. It's a partnership with the Humane Society of Raleigh County. They help rescue animals like this. He came from a home that was not suitable. He and his 6 little brothers and sisters. Now this little guy is up for adoption, and it's all part of the new movement that Pitbull, Bob Brown, and I have started as Puppy Love. We're against all bullies. Bullies against little people. Bullies against kids. Bullies against people that can't defend themselves, and bullies against animals. So I encourage you to go to operationunderdog.org and find out more about how you can get involved and adopt a little guy like Felix right here. And for anybody who wants to step in the ring and wants to pretend like they're a bully, I'm not so sweet all the time. You might find out that love does hurt.
We have a great hour of television here for you this hour. We have a Billy Litt going up against Jester. Eric Darkstorm taking on the junior heavyweight champion Nero. And for the MSW Heavyweight Championship, we have the champion Lance Ericson taking on Johnny Blast.
Wait, did you see that?
I did.
Buddy Love pulled his hair.
No, that's not what I saw.
He sure did.
Surely not.
Bo James, though, he's so focused, he's not going to waste time complaining about it.
Focus is definitely a word that you can describe Bo James with aptly.
You darn Skippy.
He has one thing on his mind, and that is victory. Oh, and there's Buddy Love powering out of that upper wrist lock.
Pulling the hair again.
Well, I couldn't see from this angle, to be honest with you.
Well, I can see it from over here. The lights aren't in my eyes. But look at that big bully Buddy Love fan.
The fans here at Baileysville are very loud today on NWA Mountain State Wrestling. And we want to thank all of our fans for your support here. Every opportunity that we get to come out to your neighborhood, please take us up on that offer, because things happen very quickly.
Have you ever seen a bigger crowd of bullies in your life, Dean? Bullies, every one of them. What happened to the anti-bully campaign? Wouldn't you call this bullying? Ganging up on one guy and making fun of him together?
Oh, it's still full in effect as Bo James takes the side headlock on 3BL. And ran into the immovable object in the middle of the ring.
And Bo James is finally doing what he should have done at the beginning of this match. He's a sportsman. He doesn't like to whine and cry, but he told the ref, Buddy Love's cheating. And really, can you be so surprised by a guy with such disdainful fans that they would disrespect an athlete? Let me underline that word for you, athlete like Bo James.
I tell you, where you come up with this stuff sometimes, I just don't understand.
What, you're saying Bo James isn't an athlete? Are you
Bo
a
James
bully
is
too?
definitely
Are
an
you
athlete.
a bully too?
I didn't say
a
that.
bully like
Hensley.
Buddy Love. Buddy Love is the sea-spreading rat dog. I tell you.
Oh, A2 Brute.
My
Both men
name's
locking up.
Steven.
Whoa! That's a hard right hand.
Well, Buddy Love looked a little hungry. How about a
Hey.
knuckle sandwich? What? What? Turnabout's fair play. Buddy Love likes to break the rules. Why can't Bo James?
Bo James
he does it better than him.
Bo James was definitely in Buddy Love's eyes. And now kicks to the midsection, courtesy of the King of Kingsport. Wow, right to the chin.
And the King doing a number on Buddy Love.
Right to the mouth. Buddy Love definitely getting reeled into the corner.
And Bo James staying on top of the East Coast's largest turncoat, the biggest bully of them all. Thumb to the eye, a little bit of payback for the hair pull earlier.
Ryan Anderson right where he needed to be on that one.
Yeah, where was he earlier? Where?
This action has definitely turned sour. Bo James is pulling out all the stops here. Buddy Love firing back from the corner, though. A hard elbow right to the breadbasket. Staggers Bo James across the ring. Oh, and a hard punch now by the King of Kingsport.
Yeah, you can't count Bo James down. I don't care what point you're out in a match. He's got his eyes on the prize every step of the way. You and the fans like to look at him. You like to discount him. You haven't been around him for the last couple months, the last couple years, but he hasn't been resting on his laurels. He's been out there competing. He's been honing his craft, and he's a skilled veteran right now.
Absolutely.
Do you know what it means to be a veteran, Dean? That's right.
Surviving many wars.
Yeah. The only wars you survived were with your wife, and barely did you survive those. Bo James, he's out there competing against guys like that behemoth Buddy Love, and he hangs and bangs every step of the way.
And Buddy Love absolutely getting a second wind here on NWA Mountain State Wrestling. Oh! Who would have seen that coming?
Well, it looks like the train ran out of steam. So much for that second breath of wind.
That was a well-placed kick as Bo James climbs to the second rope.
Would you expect anything less of a veteran in Mountain State Wrestling? Really? You sound surprised. You know who else is surprised? Buddy Love.
The King of Kingsport definitely pulled out a very impressive victory today over the East Coast's largest athlete.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fantastic lineup coming to you Saturday, May 19th, Rand, West Virginia in the Rand Community Center. That evening, you will see Billy Litt take on Stan Lee. The War Machine will lock horns with Eric Steele. Nero will be taking on Dave Scott. Johnny Blast gets his shot at Joey Morton. And in the main event, the Canadian Lion Lance Ericson puts the title on the line against one half of the tag team champions, Eric Darkstorm. At this time, my guest, to start things off, Mr. Electricity, Billy Litt.
What's up, Jonathan Styles? Guess what? NWA Mountain State is giving Billy Litt an early birthday gift. 3 days before Billy Litt turns 29 years old, I get to step in the ring with Stan Lee. It will be an honor to wrestle someone like Stan Lee. Be there.
War Machine, Eric Steele.
Rand, West Virginia, the man who brings the pain is coming back. Eric Steele, me and you have never been in the ring together, and I look forward to taking you all the way down in Rand.
Nero, Dave Scott.
Dave Scott may have beat me once before, but now I'm a champion too. And he's getting older and I'm still in my prime. He's not got a chance this time.
Johnny Blast taking on the legendary Joey Morton.
Joey Morton, the first time you and I ever met, they didn't have internet. They didn't have Boogie's Wrestling Camp. They didn't have hardly anything around here. And since then, you and I have probably wrestled 100 times. Where you been, Joey? It's good to see you back. but the results are going to be the same as they were 12 years ago. And that's me beating you. Welcome back, Joey, but it's not going to be a good welcome.
And of course, who can forget Eric Darkstorm finally getting that shot at the heavyweight title against the Canadian Lion.
Well, you know, first of all, I just want to send a shout out to all my homies that are locked up right now. Free Sturk, free Filthy Rich, free Uncle Ricky, free Scotty McKeever. And when Jimmy Meeks, hopefully free you, and I'll get to see you again soon. And when I get my crew back together and they can come out and show me some support, that might help me out a little bit. But you see, the main thing with Lance Ericson, and the reason that I shift my attention towards the tag team division, is that I've got more of a chance in the tag division right now than I do in the heavyweight division, because Lance Ericson, by hook or by crook, always seems to find some way to beat me. Because when I first came back to NWA Mountain State, back in January, I'm sure you remember, I pinned Lance Ericson 1, 2, 3. Just like I did when I was 17 years old back in 2002. And he knows that he can't defeat me. So you know what? He's got his hands full with Adam Pearce. He's got his hands full with Damian Wayne. He can go and do that. But, you know, I get my chance now in Rand. You know, Jason Kincaid's off. He's defending the Smoky Mountain heavyweight title in North Carolina, in Tennessee, in Illinois, anywhere that calls. So I'm going to have to switch back to the heavyweight ranks, which is no problem with me. So Lance Ericson, you know what? I'm going to issue a special challenge right now. Since you always want to put your feet on the ropes, you always want to hit me in my eyes, you want to take a shortcut, why don't we just make this a no disqualification match? And that way, none of that stuff will matter. How's that sound, Lance? What do you think? You got the balls to go one-on-one with me, no DQ and Rand? Let's see about it.
Stay tuned for that response from the champ, and check out the show Saturday, May 19th, Rand, West Virginia.
Calls for the bell.
All right, time for the learning tree again for the young man. Billy Litt wasting no time getting the fans in his corner for this one. And you know, I don't often say this, but for a young man like Jester, fan support can sometimes still mess with your head. It doesn't faze a veteran like Lance Ericson, Dave Scott, some of the guys that have been around the block a few more times than this kid has. But this guy, he's out here trying to make a name for himself, and to see the fans so solidly behind someone else, that's got to be a hard thing to wrap your brain around. Stepping out in front of a crowd and trying to earn their respect, that's a tough task.
Nice reversal now by Jester in the middle of the ring. And now going tit for tat. Billy Litt coming out with a hammerlock, and now a side headlock takeover. Fluidity of motion.
Litt's really cinching it in on the poor kid. But look at Jester, turns him over as soon as I said that. He's still looking for openings. This kid's learning a little bit more every week.
Coming up a little bit later here on NWA Mountain State Wrestling on the House of Styles, the voice of tradition, Jonathan Styles, will be hosting the NWA Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Canadian Lion, Lance Ericson, and Rich Quick, the Syndicate, on the House of Styles. Coming up next, right now, Jester and Billy Litt both jockeying for position here in the ring. Billy Litt applying a side headlock. Take a look at the height difference between the two men.
It's a very significant leverage advantage for Mr. Billy Litt. And you even saw Hatchet when he went behind Litt with that hammerlock. He was looking for a way to subdue the leverage advantage that Litt had. He put his hand up on top of that shoulder. And when you're a young man in this sport looking to make your name, you look for any edge you can find against a guy like Billy Litt. You can't let up.
Well, Billy Litt, a veteran of many wars, surely he has some injuries, but the thing of it is, he moves so smoothly and hides them so well. That's a plus in the favor of Billy Litt. He has learned to hide what ails him. Jester now firing back into the rib cage, sets a man off and shoots him off, Irish whip across. Another shoulder tackle. Billy Litt's really fired up here today on NWA Mountain State Wrestling. Nice hip toss.
Billy Litt staying right on top of him. And Jester, frustrated and rightfully so, goes to the outside. Needs some time to clear his head to think of a new strategy. The one he came in here with doesn't work. And he's calling for a timeout. In the world of professional wrestling, that just does not exist.
Agreed. Now Jester usually in a position to enjoy the support of the fans. But when you're up against Billy Litt, you're also up against the fan base. And there's no denying that. If you are in the ring against Billy Litt, you are not the fan favorite. You may be the odds favorite. And Billy Litt now riding Jester all across Texas. Or at least all across Wyoming County.
And Billy Litt, very uncharacteristic for him. Haven't seen a whole lot of high flying, not a lot of that speed advantage. Maybe he feels like he doesn't need to make use of it in the ring against a guy like Jester. Playing it real close to the vest. A lot of mat wrestling, a lot of real basic but very effective maneuvers. And Jester with a very basic but very effective armbar there. It's really got cinched in with the wrist lock. And he's kicking away at the bicep and the tricep to Billy Litt.
Billy reversing through, one-handed, goes to the top rope with a cartwheel and your reversal.
And there's some of the speed and agility we were talking to. But once again, right back to good basic mat wrestling, scientific maneuvers. Not a lot of flying around the ring today, but look at Jester. He flips on through there, comes out with an arm bar and a wrist lock, holding on to it for all he's worth. But Billy Litt, once again, the leverage advantage, pushing the smaller man into the corner there.
Now let's look at this in terms of each man's individual goals here in this ring. For Billy Litt, this is a tune-up matchup. It's an opportunity to get prepped for other opponents down the road here on TV. For Jester, it is an opportunity to score an underdog upset on one of the most talented individuals in wrestling today. Flying back elbow.
Man, he nailed that one right on the button.
Jester kicks out and heads for the outside again. Billy Litt getting a little bit frustrated. He'd like to continue his offense, and that's what Jester is not allowing him to do, a veteran maneuver from a relatively young competitor.
Billy Litt having words with the ref, I'm not sure over what. Zug Island's finest, waiting in the wings, playing it real cautious, not running after Litt. And there, that's what I like to see from a young man. Go get you some, kid. Go get you some.
Well, like it or not, that's showing some initiative. Billy Litt firing back on him. Head meet turnbuckle.
Short-lived initiative, but I appreciated it. Billy Litt, though, man, he looks a little bit upset now. But you know what? Jester, undeterred, who just ate the other person's boot for lunch?
Jester has got to build on some momentum. Snap mare taking the man over. And pressing his advantage now.
Referee asking Litt if he wants to give this one up. I don't think that's realistic at this point.
Ryan
but
Adderson.
You never know. You never know.
Ryan Adderson, definitely one of the hardest working referees on the East Coast, and we are proud to have him here at NWA Mountain State. As Jester is trying to rob Billy Litt of blood flow to the brain and a little bit of oxygen. He's cinching it in tight there, Stephen Hensley.
Well, he's definitely going after Litt for all he's worth, but you see Litt already firing back. And what a great takedown by Jester. Wow, he is impressive today.
Well, you can't call that a textbook takedown, but it was effective.
Textbook schmexbook. Who's going for a pinfall?
Nice scoop slam, and look at Jester right back on his opponent.
And he hooked the leg.
And he also did not look for the fan approval.
No, he didn't. Good for him.
He has realized the position that he's in, and he's going to push that advantage no matter what the fans or Billy Litt thinks.
Well, the fans in a quarter will not even get you a cup of coffee these days, Dean.
Billy Litt not giving up.
And the crowd coming to life in support of every mother's worst nightmare, the thief of mother's lipstick, Billy Litt firing against Jester for all he's worth. He's broken free. Jester misses with a clothesline.
Billy Litt lands a clothesline. He gets up. He dishes out another clothesline on Jester, and a third. He's going to go for the cover. Jester kicks out, and Billy Litt a little bit surprised about that. And now, this would appear to be the Billy Litt that we are used to seeing.
Well, Billy Litt's going to try to ride the edge of that lightning bolt one more time, but look who's up to meet him already. Jester, look out, kid. He got caught.
Jester kicks out at 2. Billy Litt had the crossbody block.
Billy Litt looks mystified.
Absolutely. Jester now sizing up. Here's a kick.
Whoa!
And a DDT with some authority. Here's Jester with the cover.
Unbelievable.
I thought we had a 3 count right there.
The blink of an eye separated the referee's hand from the mat. That's how close it was.
Billy Litt visibly shaking cobwebs out to make sure that he's set back in.
Oh, Billy's got him cinched in.
Litomic bomb, and he's got the cover. That's it.
What a shame.
And Billy Litt gains another victory here on NWA Mountain State Wrestling over a very determined opponent in Jester.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another edition of the House of Styles. With me, I have the advisor to the syndicate, Rich Quick, and the NWA Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Canadian Lion, Lance Ericson. Gentlemen, I'm going to get right into it. It does not look like, in this journalist's opinion, the syndicate has been in full force as of late. Lance Erickson's almost by himself sometimes. You're laughing at me, sir.
Yes, I'm laughing. Very good observation, Jonathan. All right. Now, look, I take great offense to the fact that you even hint to the fact that the syndicate is not in full effect, okay? The syndicate comes out every day. Whether you see us or not, we're there, okay? We're at every show. We are putting on the best wrestling you will see anywhere in this podunk area, all right? Now, first off, I would like to say that the last time I came here, I swore I would never, ever come back to Baileysville, Virginia, but I got home and no one believed me. They didn't believe how stupid and unfortunate looking these people down here are. So, today I will be taking pictures and I hope everyone smiles a lot and shows me their tooth, okay? So, Champ, do you have anything you would like to say about this syndicate?
The syndicate not being in full force. How long you been back, Jonathan?
2 months, 3 months?
3 months, okay. The syndicate being in full force, we're always in full force, number one. Number two, we don't need anybody. We don't need to be in each other's hip pockets. We don't need to be with each other at every match. Just because we don't run in a gang all the time doesn't mean that we're not all there. Okay? When you least expect, it's when we will strike. We run Mountain State Wrestling. Believe that. And it won't be long till we're going to be the NWA. We're going to run the whole NWA, not just Mountain State Wrestling. This is just a stepping stone to where we need to go to.
Well, what about the absence of what has been announced as your younger brother, Ricky Shane?
Yeah, Ricky Shane is my younger brother, and I'm damn proud of it, too. One of the finest young workers in this business. I mean, what more you know?
Where is he?
It's none of your business where he's at. It's none of their business. If you're not a part of the syndicate, you don't need to know where he's at. Enough said about that.
All right, then let's move on to the next topic at hand, the big NWA Mountain State Wrestling title match that is coming up in Mount Hope on May the 20th, triple threat. The uncrowned or self-proclaimed uncrowned World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Mid-Atlantic Damian Wayne, and Adam Pearce, both men who could possibly walk out with that championship. You're laughing again, sir.
No, I'm laughing because once again, you are disrespecting the champion. Possibly walk out with it? There is no chance in hell that either two of those people you mentioned will have a shot at taking that out of it. There's no way. Please show respect.
Well, I am showing respect, but there always is a possibility, and I have to wonder about that. And I'm just going to.
What's possible about it? They have to pin my shoulders in a matter, make me tap. Well, damn sure ain't either one of them going to make me tap. We've heard about how much of a big shooter that Mr. Adam Pearce is. So I don't think I have anything to worry about right there. Damian Wayne, I have nothing but respect for him. He is the Mid-Atlantic badass. Not a doubt in it. He's been the only guy since I've came back to this business a year ago from my semi-retirement that I came back that's been able to push me to the limit. Last time I was here in Baileysville, West Virginia, yeah, we went about 25 minutes in a chain match, a dog collar match, and we beat the mortal hell out of each other. I came up on the short end. It's public news. Get it on Unleashed. See the match if you want to know how bad it was. But I did lose that night. My hand was not raised. But there were certain circumstances on why it wasn't raised, and that's none of your business either. We had a lot of things going on in the syndicate.
Okay, but one last question I do want to ask, and I'm sure it's on the mind of...
I'm not done talking. Put the mic back over here. Yes, sir. If you move that mic again, I'm going to smack the shit out of you.
Yes, sir.
When I get done talking, I'll tell you to move it.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Adam Pearce, let me tell you something. I respect you. You're a 4-time world champ. But you haven't taken me serious, man. What do I got to do? What do I got to do? Huh? You want to call my belt a mark belt, this and that, you guys do? Let me tell you something. When you come May 20th, you're going to be in for the fight of your life, dude. You have no clue. Ask Damian Wayne. He went home and sat for 3 days in salt water. I put so many whelps on him. So what do you think I'm going to do to you for not only disrespecting me, but my title and my quote, quote, territory that you didn't even want to wrestle for my title? Let me tell you something. You better lace them up tight, dude. You have no clue what you've put, as my mama used to say, you put your foot in your mouth, son. So I would suggest that you quit worrying about this crap you've got going on with Colt Cabana, this 7 layers of crap. That's basically what it is. You haven't beaten Colt Cabana yet. And I hope you see this. I hope you feel disrespected, because I am disrespecting you. I don't have no respect for you anymore. When you come May 20th, you're leaving without the title. So is Damian Wayne. I'm sick and tired of this company being disrespected by people that think they're bigwigs in this business. You're not. You're just the next victim to Lance Ericson. You can move it now.
Thank you, sir. Speaking of bigwigs in the business, I would be amiss if I didn't mention Colt Cabana. I have to ask, is Colt Cabana in the sights of the NWA Mountain?
Is he the world champ?
Yes, sir.
Then he's in my sights. I have nothing but respect for Colt. I've never been in a ring with him, so I can't say nothing bad about the man. I've watched him on film plenty of times. Hell of a wrestler. Hell of a wrestler. I have nothing but respect for him. He is the NWA world champ. He's beaten Adam Pearce twice in the last 6 months, 7 months. Twice. Not once, but twice. So what do you think I should have for him? Do you respect him?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought you'd say. Go ahead.
Fans, we'll be back again another time with another House of Styles.
For the past 16 years, Mark Hunt has helped hundreds of people who were injured in a car wreck. Mark Hunt and Associates help people put their lives back together after a car wreck. We get cars repaired, medical bills and lost wages paid, and get you the compensation deserved. Call Mark Hunt and Associates. We have the experience to help you when you can't help yourself. Mark Hunt and Associates, 304-344-1800, or on the web at www.markahunt.com.
Kramer Security and Investigations, an industry leader, is currently hiring for the position of security officer throughout southern West Virginia. At Kramer, quality begins and ends with our security officers. We are proud to offer a variety of shifts, competitive wages, professional training, and a great opportunity. For information, please call 304-256-0300. That's 256-0300, or apply in person at our Market Street Beckley or Walker Street Princeton locations. Kramer Security and Investigations, securing your future today. An equal opportunity employer.
So there's the title. Both men shaking hands mid-ring.
Sorry, Dean, didn't mean to muddle over top of your words.
Oh, that's okay.
Now the tale of the advantages between the two men, it's night and day on this one. We don't even need to discuss it for the fans. Obviously, the bigger, stronger man, it's going to be Darkstorm. The more experienced man, it's going to be Darkstorm. But the faster, more agile man, definitely Nero.
So Darkstorm has to overcome that. And I'm sure he's done his schooling very well. This crowd is very, very lively and loud here in Baileyville.
just like any crowd you'll ever see at a Mountain State Wrestling event.
We are priding ourselves in being the flagship of the National Wrestling Alliance. And the crowd, I would say that the crowd is about 50-50 because we have people chanting for Nero and people chanting for Eric Darkstorm.
Fair assessment of the situation, Dean. I'd say you're definitely right about that. And there's the strength advantage we were talking about with Darkstorm. In close with each other, Darkstorm's probably going to come out on top. The much stronger man, it's going to be much easier for him to throw Nero around there.
But he has to get a hold of the wily junior heavyweight and hold him.
Well, he's doing a pretty good job for the moment. Has him tied up real good. Near pinfall attempt there. Holding on to the hammerlock for all he's worth. And that's exactly what he wants to do. He wants to, well, I was going to say he wants to stay in close to Nero, but Nero, against anything I would expect, looks real comfortable hanging in there close with Eric Darkstorm.
That is a good ploy.
Darkstorm, though, there's the size advantage.
Absolutely.
I think it makes it a little bit easier for him to slip out of those situations.
Absolutely. Nero put him in a position where he could weigh, he could put his weight upon Darkstorm, and that he could actually wear the larger man down in a submission hold. But Darkstorm, having 40 pounds on him and easily 4 or 5 inches of height, he was able to pretty much move Nero with relative ease.
And look at how he held on to him there. Even with the momentum coming off the ropes, Darkstorm just used his weight to sit down and hold on to the head. And right there, once again, shoulder block, Nero down to the mat. Nero goes flat though. Attempt at hip, oh wow.
Wow.
Attempt at hip toss, attempted beheading followed that though. Nero's lucky the darn thing's still attached to his freaking neck.
Nero definitely went for a move that backfired on him, on the larger Mr. Darkstorm, and Eric Darkstorm was right there to capitalize.
A lot of personal pride at stake in this one. Two young men with a world of momentum. Darkstorm, half of the Mountain State Wrestling Tag Team Champions, recently defeating the former National Heavyweight Champion Chance Prophet at our IPPV Unleashed. Nero, the current Junior Heavyweight Champion. Neither man wants to lose this one today. A lot of people paying attention.
And Nero having to expend an awful lot of energy to keep his shoulders up off the mat.
And that energy's going to be well worth it if he can walk away with a victory.
Absolutely. And he breaks the hold with his right leg and starts putting kicks in.
And how impressive are the kicks of Nero. Off the top. Wow!
Nicely executed move from the top rope. Both men jockeying for control.
Darkstorm sent him in hard. Nero, though, got the boot up at the last second. Coming out of the corner.
And another Darkstorm clothesline.
Darkstorm's really leveling Nero with those clotheslines. He's turned him inside out twice now in a very short span of time. And a clothesline, and think this may be lost on fans, the impact that you receive from a clothesline, it can knock you out under the right circumstances on the way down. And Nero's neck and upper body are not feeling good after those, but resilient as he is, look at those chops he's sending Darkstorm's way now, after everything he's absorbed.
Both men trading chops. Remember, Nero feeds off of a little bit of that pain. Reversal now by Darkstorm. He ducks the clothesline.
Crossbody by Nero, hooks the leg. Almost.
And Nero finally finding a way to stagger Eric Darkstorm.
And Nero going in real deep with that arm drag there.
So now Nero finding a way to stagger Darkstorm, and now he's going to push the advantage to try to keep him on the mat, which could be easier said than done. Darkstorm back to his base at this point. And now moving the champion to the ropes.
Nero holding on for everything he's worth, and the fans really showing their support for Nero.
Uppercuts now by Darkstorm. Nero reeling in the corner.
Well, Darkstorm's bringing him center. Slams him down hard. A little bit of showboating by Darkstorm. Drops the fist pinpoint between the eyes. Goes for a lateral press.
And it's a 2 count. Nero won't give up easily. And now with the pride of being the junior heavyweight champion, he has even more to fight for.
Well, whatever you think of Nero's freaktacular appearance, the fact of the matter is, you aren't going to win a match against him by showboating. You give that guy a couple seconds to breathe, the conditioning he has to do to hang and bang the way he does in there, he's going to be ready to go by the time you get down there. By the time the 2 count's there, he's ready to get up and fight again.
Absolutely. Main event action coming up right after this. The Canadian Lion Lance Ericson puts the title on the line against former champion Johnny Blast, who's looking for his rematch and an opportunity to climb back to the top. Can he do it? We'll find out next. Right now, Eric Darkstorm pressing the advantage once again on the junior heavyweight champion Nero with a scoop slam. He sizes him up, hits the ropes. Oh, and he misses the spinning elbow.
And that's what we were talking about. You give Nero time to breathe, he's going to be up and at him before you can blink.
Darkstorm's back on him, sends him across from corner to corner.
Perhaps slowly up and at him. Darkstorm rolls through. Nero, though, out of the way at the last second. He's going for a schoolboy.
Darkstorm rolled on through the schoolboy.
Much too fresh still is Darkstorm. Nero doing his best to catch lightning in a bottle out of nowhere. And he flies on over top of Darkstorm's back on that attempted suplex. Spins around.
Beautiful spinning Hurricane Rana from the rafters atop Eric Darkstorm. And now pressing the advantage with kicks to the chest is the junior heavyweight champion. He's putting the shoulders into Eric Darkstorm.
I think the little man on the side of Eric Darkstorm's ribs was even screaming on that one.
Drop kick with the opponent prone in the corner, and here's your cover. Hook of the leg and a 2. And Nero looking to decide what the next play in the book is going to be. But Darkstorm cuts him off in the center with a knee lift. Both men tired, obviously, and Darkstorm now heaving him up like Idaho russets, brings him around, and a spinning, beautiful backbreaker. Wow, I thought that one could have been a victory for Eric Darkstorm. I didn't see any movement.
Billy Robinson would have been proud.
That was a beautifully executed backbreaker. And now the larger Darkstorm puts the champion up on the top rope and fires a forearm in for full effect.
Nero almost fell off the top there after that one.
Those are staggering forearms. Wow, Nero firing one back. Those are right to the jawline. Both men putting them right where they count.
Nero, he's going right after Darkstorm after all the punishment that he's incurred so far. But Darkstorm going right up to meet him, still firing away on Nero. Man, this is a slugfest at the top now.
Hard shots being exchanged by both men. And Darkstorm slips out.
The little engine that could finally gets the better of Darkstorm. But he's got to capitalize, Dean.
Well, this is where he excels. High risk, high top rope.
Whoa!
Top rope rolling senton.
He's got to get him over. He's got to cover him. There it is. Hooks the leg.
And a 2 count by the challenger. Darkstorm's experience, energy, and size advantage coming into play here. Chops now being delivered by the champion.
Nero,
he's rocking him in too.
He's giving it all he's got. You're right about that. Darkstorm, though, it's like we said, the size and the strength. But Nero, well, he thought he was going to counter there. Darkstorm, whoa! And did you see Nero's head bounce off the mat?
That's it.
And the man who has a future heavyweight title shot against the Canadian Lion, Eric Darkstorm, should be of a hard-fought victory.
You better believe it. Eric Darkstorm had to earn that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, NWA Mountain State Wrestling makes its return to Mount Hope, West Virginia at the Mount Hope High School with a 3 p.m. bell time. That afternoon, you will see Johnny Blast and Puppy Love take on 3 of the young lions of Mountain State Wrestling. Nero locks horns with Joey Morton. Billy Litt meets Bo James, the King of Kingsport. The tag team titles will be on the line as Eric Darkstorm and Jason Kincaid put them up against Zach Vincent and the Reaper, Matt Connard. In a chokeslam challenge, you will see the War Machine take on Bulldozer. And in the main event that afternoon, the NWA Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Championship will be up for grabs as Adam Pearce and Damian Wayne take on the Canadian Lion, Lance Ericson. At this time, I'd like to bring in the King of Kingsport, Bo James.
You know, somewhere deep in the hills in Mount Hope, West Virginia, people have been down on their knees praying to the Lord. We need somebody to come up here. We need a man that we all can get behind. Right here he stands, the King of Kingsport. The #1 man from the state of Tennessee is right here. Mount Hope, May the 20th. Billy Litt, you can look right here. This custom-made Stetson hat, it costs more than your suit. This gold chain costs more in your car, and this watch right here costs more in your house. There's something missing, and that's a title right around this waist. And Billy Litt is just the next victim on the list that I've got to get me to the top. When it's all said and done, you're going to see me standing up, and you're going to see him laying down, and then I'm going to get a good seat, and I'm going to watch that three-way match at the end of the night, because one of them men's going to leave there the champion, and you better realize they're going to have to deal with Bo James very shortly.
Speaking of that championship match, this time I'm joined by the Canadian Lion, Lance Ericson.
That's right, it all comes to a head, fellas. You've been on the internet running your mouth. You've been worrying about other things that you shouldn't, when you should have been paying attention to the Canadian Lion. You see, I've been to the gym. I've been tanning. What some of these idiots around here think that I haven't been doing, guess what? I've been doing. I've been putting in the time to be exactly what I need to be, and that's the Mountain State Heavyweight Champ. Now let's run down a few things here real quick, Jonathan. We got a few extra moments here.
Okay.
First off, in this match, it's the biggest match ever in NWA Mountain State history, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Huh? Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
It's a lot bigger than the last time Adam Pearce was here and worked some goof. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
this
absolutely.
is a lot bigger than that.
Oh, absolutely.
This is an actual challenge. And what do I got to do, Adam Pearce? I've insulted your pride. I've talked crap about you. I don't really care, man. I really don't. At this point, the only thing that worries me is walking out with this. And that brings me to Damian Wayne. One hell of a competitor. I have nothing but good things to say about this man. He's took me to the limit. He actually holds 2 pinfall victories over me. So you know what? I'm going to even it up and make it 2-2, and then maybe we can come back in that big cage match that you want. But come hell or high water, it doesn't matter. The Canadian Lion will still be the NWA Mountain State Heavyweight Champion Sunday afternoon, May 20th. Get your food stamps together. Get your bunch of rot-nosed, punk-mouthed, punk kids. It doesn't matter. I've went hardcore. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me anymore. I've got too many idiots in my business that I'm going to run out. And guess what? I'm going to run 2 more out come May 20th. Because you know why? Like Eric Darkstorm says. No, I'm not going to steal his gimmick. You're just my next step towards immortality.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will not want to miss that event, Sunday, May 20th, 3 p.m.
What if you're Damian Wayne or Adam Pearce?
Absolutely.
They've got a big 3-way encounter down the line. Fans, you want to talk about catching the match of a lifetime? Come out to the NWA Mountain State Wrestling event where those 3 are going to tangle.
Johnny Blast guarding his movements very carefully while the Canadian Lion moving confidently around the ring. I'm not saying that Johnny Blast is confident, it's just that he's coming in with his guard completely up, ready for anything. And with Rich Quick out there, he has to be.
Well, Johnny Blast would like nothing more than to once again hold that NWA Mountain State Wrestling heavyweight title. And let's not forget, Lance Ericson, when he won that heavyweight title, he upped the ante. He said, I'm the cornerstone of this company now. We're going to treat this belt with a little more respect. And he demanded a new belt be made to represent our company. Johnny Blast has never held a belt that looks that good because Lance Ericson demanded the ante be upped, adding even more prestige to that heavyweight title's lineage.
The Canadian Lion, Lance Ericson, has definitely raised the bar here. And our roster has done their best to meet it. This is, these are exciting times here in NWA Mountain State. Wow, the fans are really on Rich Quick and the Canadian Lion.
Can you feel the atmosphere in here? The fans have been waiting with bated breath for months for the return of Johnny Blast, to see him get this rematch. And today in Baileysville, West Virginia, they are getting exactly that. What they waited for, what they paid their money for, the memory of a lifetime, only here at an NWA Mountain State Wrestling event, and only this Sunday morning on Fox 59. Can you believe your luck to see this one?
Lance Ericson put a jab in to the jaw of Johnny Blast. Johnny Blast was going to return it in kind. Wow, Rich Quick now interceding for his charge.
Well, he's informing the ref. Lance knows where he's counting to. You don't have to talk so loud to him. He is a master of the game. He's not a student, he is a master of the game. He'll be in before 10. He wants this victory as much as Johnny Blast wants it.
This match, go ahead, sir.
Because that's how he's going to cement his legacy. That's his legacy he's cementing out there.
This matchup is veteran against veteran. How many years combined experience here between these two men as Johnny Blast takes the champion off his feet? How many times have these guys crossed paths in how many different states, maybe even other countries? This is the groundwork for the next generation of professional wrestlers. And I'm not talking about the young ones who are breaking in. I'm talking about the ones who are watching this at home and on YouTube and on internet. This is what you want to watch to learn. This is history and tradition being made right before your eyes. And it's right here on NWA Mountain State Wrestling.
So much emotion in this one. Ericson and Johnny Blast take, whoa!
Wow!
Whoa! Wait a second! Uncalled for! Disqualified Blast right now. That was uncalled for. Poor sportsmanlike conduct.
But was Rich Quick reaching for Johnny Blast? It looked like it from this angle.
Rich Quick had his back turned.
He had his hand out.
That man, Walrus Hick in the front row, was mouthing off to him. He turned around and got distracted, and Johnny Blast stepped on his hand. Thanks a lot, crazy Johnny Blast fan.
And a very confident Canadian Lion in his position.
Look how mad he is, too. After Johnny Blast did that to Rich Quick, he's going to make him pay. Break his arm, Lance. Break his arm.
Wow, you are so calling it right up the middle, I tell you. Champion gets to the ropes.
Well, I'm sorry, but what Johnny Blast just did to Rich Quick, that was reprehensible. That was disgusting. Rich Quick is a manager. He's not a competitor in the match. That's like hitting a referee. It should be a DQ.
Johnny Blast taking the left hand now of the champion and cinching it any which way he cares to take it. And the fans here are cheering him on. Wow. Now that was very effective use of a forearm.
Well, you can't count the Canadian Lion out, whatever the situation is. As quickly as Johnny Blast had things going his way, Lance Ericson, he turned it around just as quick.
Absolutely, and that's what he is known for. I mean, I use the term game changer a lot. Hey, okay, now what were you saying about only a manager?
Payback. He hit Rich Quick, why not? Why not? If somebody hits your boy, are you going to tell your boy to take it?
Well, of course not. That was one of those conundrums that I really had to measure my response.
Good for you, though. You saw the light, Rich Quick. He should take up for himself. He has that right as a human being.
And now, the Canadian Lion putting boots to Johnny Blast as if he were maybe perhaps something less than human. John, I know that there is respect between those two men, but you have to dehumanize your opponent to say, hey, you know, if I bust this guy's spleen, it's because he's in the ring.
Well, if these guys didn't respect each other, they wouldn't be hitting each other as hard. They might take them for granted. There are guys out there who the second they step into the ring with either of these men know they don't have a chance. But those guys are out there against the real deals. Both of those men out there, they're the real deal. a former heavyweight champion, a current heavyweight champion. It doesn't get any more real in this business than this.
These guys know exactly what they have to bring out in themselves to overcome their opponent in this match. As the heavyweight champion breaks the count and takes his time getting back into the ring, Johnny Blast knows what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to eliminate all threats from the outside, i.e. Rich Quick, while at the same time eliminating all offense from the man that he's in the ring with, the champion Lance Ericson. And that is no easy task.
Well, Lance Ericson knows exactly what he's got to do. Stay on top of his man. That's what it's all about.
All Lance Ericson has to do is survive this encounter. He can hold his own for 30 minutes and walk out as the champion.
That's true. It's absolutely true.
He can also put in enough pressure right now to cause Johnny Blast to tap. He remains the champion. He can pin Johnny Blast. He remains the champion. He can also, lose by countout and remain the champion.
Champion's advantage. Pinfall or submission, that's what Blast needs. Anything else is a moot point. It would be a lukewarm victory because countout, DQ, he doesn't get a belt. He walks out of here the same way he walked in, not a champion.
Johnny getting a boot firmly to the back of Erickson's head, giving him a good burn. Oh, and Ericson right back to that leg. Takes Johnny right back down to the mat.
And the last few moments are going to be the tail of the tape. Lance Ericson has picked out what he wants to take away from Johnny Blast, that left leg.
Absolutely, he is keying in, and now he's using his partner in the match, the ring, to its best advantage. Guys, it's ugly, but it's effective.
Lance Ericson, he knows how to use that rule book. Sometimes you'd like to pick up a ball bat and take a man's head off to win a match. If there's a legal thing out there that he can use, though, that's not going to cause a DQ, that's going to hurt as much as getting hit with a ball bat, it's that ring post.
Absolutely. Johnny Blast now in a world of hurt thanks to that offense on the outside of the ring by the heavyweight champion, Lance Ericson. Rich Quick urging his charge on from the outside to stay on that leg, and you know that now he can take the time because Johnny Blast cannot get up as quickly. He cannot recover as quickly. And now he's trying to push that patella sideways, Stephen Hensley.
And it's good to see Rich Quick so happy with what's going on now after how upset he looked early in this match. And you hear it directly from the heavyweight champ. That's wrestling. That's how it's done. And nobody does it better than the heavyweight champion.
That's why he's held on to the belt this long. And the challengers have been thick. The challengers have came from everywhere.
You know, some guys, they like to go through the history books retaining their heavyweight championship on lukewarm things like count-out victories, count-out losses, DQ victories, DQ losses. Lance Ericson thrives on winning his matches. It's not about getting by.
Johnny Blast sacrificing the body for some offense. What did he just put that ailing knee through to level the champion?
Well, whatever he put it through, in his mind, it's absolutely worth it. And while I constantly accuse him of being one of the stupidest people I've ever met, and I'm right about that, that's exactly what you have to do. Everything it takes if you want to stand a shot of winning the heavyweight title this morning. And Blast going after him for all he's worth. Reversal on the Irish whip. Blast no kicks him in the gut.
Blasting camp delivered on the heavyweight champion, but the left knee.
He can't follow up. And as long as it took him to follow up, Rich Quick's on the apron.
And that's a 3 count if ever I've seen one here on NWA Mountain State. And Rich Quick distracted the referee from it.
It's not a 3 count if the ref isn't counting. Johnny Blast, he just nailed Rich Quick. But that's a mistake. Or is it? He ducked the clothesline.
The Canadian Lion hits the mat. Blast is limping his way through, but he's pressing his offense. Hard right hands by the challenger. The champion is reeling. Oh, he's going to reverse it. He sets him up, charges in.
Blast is floating on over with a sunset flip attempt out of the corner. Erickson's fighting though. He's got a pin. Oh, he's got him. Oh, hallelujah.
May 20th in Mount Hope, West Virginia is a new day. In a very new world for Scrap Iron Adam Pierce, a world in which
Mountain State to take your Mountain State Heavyweight Championship. But it seems like I'm going to have to go through somebody else to do this, because you seem to bring in Mr. former NWA World Champion Adam Pierce, which is fine by me because I have a little personal vendetta I need to get. You know, me and Pierce go back. We got history. Pierce tried to take me out of professional wrestling, him and Chance Prophet, and I've never got my revenge. But I might take this opportunity on May 20th to get that. But don't let that fool you, Lance. Don't let that fool you at all, because that belt you have, I still want around my waist, because I like collecting, you know, I like collecting belts. I like collecting gold, silver, platinum belts, whatever they are. You see, you're going to be bringing your belt. I'll be bringing my belt, and it seems like Mr. Pierce is going to be the one without a belt because he lost his. Well, that's fine. You know, I'll get my shot at the NWA World Heavyweight Championship when it comes. But on May 20th, Lance, it's you, me, Pierce, three-way dance. Do I take my frustrations out on Pierce? Or do I take them out on you? Shoot, just might take them out on both of you. Because I'm walking out the NWA Mountain State Heavyweight Champion on May 20th. Be prepared for it, son. Eat some pancakes, because I'm going to eat mine.
Victory! Yeah! Lance Ericson, still heavyweight champion. What do you got to say about that, Dean? How do you like that, Johnny Blast? What a great morning. Ahead of steam for our heavyweight champ, going to that big three-way at Mount Hope against former world champion Adam Pierce and NWA dog champion Damian Wayne. What? You want to talk? Go ahead, talk. Say something. I'm excited.
Yeah! Guys, next week, Mount Hope, West Virginia, like he says, Mr. Mid-Atlantic and the former four-time world heavyweight champion Adam Pierce chasing our champion, coming to our turf to take a bone away from the dog in his own backyard.
Good luck. The lion in his own backyard. Thank you very much.
Well, you know what I mean.
The
Guys,
Canadian lion.
You want to watch our show?
Lance Ericson.
Next week on Fox West Virginia and across the World Wide Web, and then you want to be in Mount Hope at the old high school, don't they?
That's absolutely right. NWA Mountain State Wrestling, the flagship of the National Wrestling Alliance. Nobody does it better. Come to a Mountain State Wrestling live event. We'll see you next time. Outlaw Rockstar, ending bib, out.
NWA Mountain State is a production of Cucumber & Company. Cucumber & Company, video, web, and beyond.